This week, we complete our reading of chapter 1. Don't worry, we plan to go back and answer all or most of the questions. Here we see different ways to perceive the relationship between Ruth and Naomi. We notice some bizarre changes in language and gender and begin to set the stage for Ruth's transformation. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Dearly beloved.
We're gathered here today.
Okay, so where do we there's text for anyone who is so inclined. Let's see, where did we leave off last time?
The exciting conclusion where Ruth became a secret assassin for the MI6 and took down the Russian spies.
The Ruth Jason Bourne crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, but then
it's part of the BCU, the Biblical Cinematic Universe.
It's all Jewish anyway.
Yeah.
But then when they did the reboot, it really wasn't as good.
Yeah, exactly. They recast, the part of Moses. It's just like a whole thing.
Okay, so for lack of a better recollection as to where we left off, I think
we finished the first chapter.
We definitely did not finish the first chapter.
I thought we finished with Naomi, and oh no, you're right. We did like the first 7 psukim or something.
I think that's about right. Right. We said Vatetzim min hamakom.
He did his homework. He went ahead.
Yeah.
No reading ahead. Okay, so we'll pick up, I guess, at pasuk 7. Why not? Vatetzim min hamakom asher haisa shama.
Right, she's coming back in disgrace.
Right.
That's what happened last time.
Ushtei chaloseha iman. She has her 2 kalot with her, her 2 daughters-in-law. Vatelachna baderach, and they traveled on the way lashuv el Eretz Yehuda, to return to Yehuda. And you're going to see that word lashuv many times. That one doesn't really have. It's hard to follow.
All right.
There's a bunch of other ones over there. Okay, so pasuk ches vatomer Naomi lishtei chalosah. So here, she sort of has picked up on the fact that the daughters-in-law are still with her, right? She must have hit some sort of fork in the road, because she doesn't tell them at the outset when she leaves. That was pasuk 7. At some later point, she realizes, hey, they're serious about still going with me. Just logistically, that must mean that either they packed their bags or they didn't have much other than what they're wearing to take along with them, because otherwise, why wouldn't, if they were planning on moving in with her, they'd have a suitcase, right? If they're traveling by foot, which is what it sounds like, but telachna baderach, then they're not really carrying very much with them, so there's no reason for her to assume at the beginning that they're planning on going with her the whole way. It was just like a nicety to escort somebody.
Actually, there is it because the pasuk continues l'shuv el Eretz Yehuda, which is l'shuv is sort of a singular text in there, and referring to all 3 of them returning to Yehuda. Clearly, both Rus and also Orpah had never really lived in Yehuda.
Right, so they couldn't be
shuving, but their shuving is a unison, is one unit to return to Eretz Yisrael as a unit with Naomi, which is why
you wouldn't read that as Naomi is the one that's being shuv and the daughters.
All 3 of them as a unison in purpose.
Interesting. Okay, I think that's fair. That's a fair reading. Vatomer Naomi lishtei kaloseha, and she says to her 2 daughters-in-law, Lechna shovna isha lebeit ima. Each one of you should go back to your mother's house. Yas Adonai mochem chesed kasher asisem im hamesim v'imadi. God should do kindness with you as you have done with the dead and with me. Why is she saying this?
Call forward to Shira Shirim, mother's house.
Yes, excellent. Very, very good. Usually it's Beis Avia. Usually by Tamar, right? When Tamar and Yehuda's 2 sons, so he sends her back to her father's house to wait for Shelah to grow up. Usually the girls are going to go back to the house of the father, or they're going to stay in the house of the male who's protecting them. It's interesting that she sends them back to Beit Ima instead. Why? And that's correct. Yes, 2 points for the Shir Shirim reference. Why is she sending them away?
It's not clear from the text.
Okay.
Midrashically,
What if you're Naomi? Would you want them to come or would you not want them to come? What are the pluses and minuses?
For the stated reason is
they could be like, yeah, it was totally impossible to make a living over there, guys,
In other words, more mouths to feed. She's sending them back because
no, but they're a symbol of the
Pain.
that has befallen.
Right, that her son's. No, I'm saying like to come back, like it's a symbol of how bad things were in the land that she went to. So like it'll soften the whole abandonment thing of people being mad at her. Like look how like it's like if somebody messes with you, okay, and then they go off on their merry way and they get just life crushes them into a like a small like finely powdered dust. Like you kind of don't, you're not so angry anymore. So maybe it's just like I had 2 daughters-in-law and both my sons are dead and my husband's dead and life stinks and I got more mouths to feed and like look at how destitute I am. Don't be mad at me.
she would look more pitiful coming back by herself than with
no,
2
with
daughters.
the daughters than coming back by herself.
Wait, so then why is she sending them away?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's what you were, I think, getting at. They're a bitter reminder of her life in Moab didn't work out so well.
That's what I'm saying. Is you go down to Moab. This whole family is like a family in scandal.
Okay.
So you go down to Moab, so you come back, you still have the Moab. You never get that
Right.
negative aura off of you.
Welcome. Grab the.
See?
Maybe he's more concerned about that because where's Orpah from?
Ruth and Orpah are from Moab.
You were saying pluses and minuses.
No, I'm saying the pluses and minuses of telling them to
go
leave.
away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
I'm
pluses.
saying she wants to wipe away this whole.
She wants to forget the whole incident ever happened. So she's sending them away because if they come with her, then it's a constant reminder of the scandal
Not
that.
to hurt everybody else.
It's a constant reminder to everyone else that she did a bad thing and went to Moab.
Or she or her husband or the whole family.
So it's self-interest.
Yeah.
She's not trying to do right by these girls. And so when she says God should bless you, that's all sort of like a pious cover story. I don't care if God blesses you or not. I just don't want you here.
There's no ill will.
What's that?
It's no ill will. God bless you.
Right. God bless you. Goodbye. But like, what? Okay.
She's going back, so it obviously really matters whether they're there with her or not.
Doesn't matter.
She's gonna. I don't think it's about her. Maybe she's about the girl. It's about the 2 girls.
So she does have their self-interest. She has their best interest in mind.
She says so. She says also that she's not getting any more kids for them.
Right.
And
Right.
since she knows that she's going back there, where she may not, they won't like her necessarily, so they won't have. And no other guys may be for them either.
Right, you guys are Moabites.
So-
like you're not going to be welcome over there.
She's going back. I don't see like they know whether those 2 come with her or not. They know what she did.
Right. They know what she did.
Yeah,
And so it's really in their best interest to find, like, there's nothing more for you here.
Not necessarily.
I'm just saying that
Who says that they knew
whether they're
they
2
knew-
girls there or not. It doesn't make any difference.
Who says that they knew? Meaning, the people in Israel didn't necessarily know that she had 2 sons marry.
What they did was that they left them.
No, they left.
They left. The fact that they left in the first place.
Right. They left without wives. They left.
Right.
The sons left without wives.
And now the sons
And
are
now
not going
the
to come
sons
back.
are not coming back, and these
more
2
wives
girls are
are
coming back.
Right.
Moab girls.
Right. It's like, who are these?
That's opening up the whole story again. It's just,
It opens up a can of
the story
worms.
never ends. It just keeps on,
So it sounds like we have two different approaches here. Approach number 1 is Naomi is self-interested. She doesn't want them coming back with her because it's a scandal. Approach number 2 is it has nothing to do with scandal, no scandal. She's looking out for the best interests of these girls, and there's nothing more for them here. She wants them to go live successful lives. They did a chesed. In fact, I didn't even get to this question. What chesed did they do with the Meitim?
chesed shalemis.
What's that? They buried them?
Yeah, they took care of them when they were dead. That's that. That's the chesed shalemis that she's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
possible, but like, we don't really have evidence of that from the Pesukim
You
themselves.
have evidence from what she said.
Maybe chesed with them when they
Right,
were,
I mean,
think
maybe
people
the
are dead
fact that-
now when they were alive.
Maybe the fact that they married the sons-in-law. I mean, that could be chesed. I mean, the Torah uses the word chesed as like a
No, but they
euphemism for like something bad. Also,
But weren't
like,
they Megayer?
No, it said.
So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that right now.
Im hamesim.
Yeah.
Vavadi, the dead in me. The chesed she's talking about is the chesed shalemis.
I don't know.
That's
I'm
what
not
it
so
says.
sure.
But that's what the verbiage is. That's what shad is. You want to go otherwise? Shad. The words are clear that he's talking
No,
about.
you know what? No, but you could also read it like you did chesed with my dead sons. Like it's not necessarily
Im
the
hamesim.
qualified.
Yes.
Im hamesim.
Right,
The dead
you did
They're
kindness
dead
with them. You
now.
cooked them dinner. You did nice stuff for
For
them.
dead people.
Yeah,
Wait,
well, they're
they're
dead now.
They're amazing.
I think what he's saying is then why refer to them as Mason?
Because right now in
They're
that
dead.
moment they're dead.
The word is.
I mean, their names were sickness and destruction. I mean,
No, that wasn't their names.
Machlon and Kilion, dude.
That's the way
That's
they're
the shot.
referred to.
Yeah, that's shot.
Okay, let's keep going. I think we've squeezed as much as we can out of this pasuk.
Never enough.
Yitein Adonai lachem umatzena menucha isha beit isha. In case you didn't remember that, I'm sending you to the each one to the house of her own house. Vatishak lahen vatiseena kolon vativkena. So God should give you, not exactly what he should give you, umatzena menucha, and not only should he grant you whatever he's going to grant you, but you should also find menucha, each one of you, and vatishak lahen vatisena kolon vativkena. So they kissed her and they began to cry. Vatomarna la, and they say to her, Ki itach nashuv la'amech, we're going with you. That means both of them, right? That's
People.
Ruth and Orpah. Right, we're going to return with you to your people. I guess I can point it out now. It's something. One other.
They raised their voices and cried.
I always forget which one we did in this year versus the one that we did on Shabbos. But if you read Pasuk Ches, you'll notice that Naomi's grammar is not so great. She says, Yas Hashem imachem chesed. She's talking to women.
Imachen.
That's
Should
for
be.
males.
Right.
That makes sense.
That's
Of course it
true.
does. Because she's talking about the fathers should do with you, the daughters, well.
What father?
Their fathers.
No, she's saying
She's
each one.
talking to them,
Yes.
but when she's saying imachem, the fathers should treat you well. In other words, your fathers.
She's not talking about their fathers at all.
She's saying to Ruth and Orpah, go to your mother's house, and your fathers, imachem, should do well with you.
She doesn't say fathers at all. She says Yas Hashem. God should do imachen, is what it should be with you
Right.
females.
Female, but it's saying in male.
Yeah,
It's saying male
but
plural.
it's to you.
It's to you. It should be imachen.
I just read that as she was referring to the father should accept them.
Well, it would if it's referring back to anyone, it's referring to God, but it should still be female. And you'll see actually a couple other times that she refers to them in the male. And the only explanation I have for this, I have not found a good explanation, is that she's been in Moab for so long that she's forgetting her Hebrew grammar,
That's good.
which I find to really be fascinating.
Yeah. Does anyone comment on this?
Not really.
Not Rashi, not nobody?
Yas Hashem imachem chesed kasher asisem, and we'll see it again momentarily. No, Rashi does not comment on it.
That's pretty bananas.
So they say we're going back with you. Okay, pasuk Yud Aleph. Vatomer Naomi shovna benosai, return my daughters. Lama telachna imi. Why would you come with me? Ha'odli banim b'me'ai. Do I have any sons in my womb? V'hayu lachem la'anashim. Right, and they will be to you.
Masculine.
Right, for husbands. Now, again, I'm going to ask: is this is this a serious statement or not? Meaning, to go back to your point, are these women Jewish? Is she saying can I infer the opposite? If I would, yes, have children if I was pregnant, I would then, yes, I would give them to you to marry, even though you are not Jewish? Or is this her acknowledging, yes, you are Jewish, and therefore, if I had kids, I would definitely marry them to you? It happens to be that I'm not pregnant, and I'm not getting pregnant anytime soon, so technically it won't work. You hear my question?
Why would you question if she would give her sons when she already gave her sons?
I don't know if she gave her sons or not. Her sons married non-Jewish daughters. Maybe she approved. Maybe she was like a good Yiddish mama and said, what a terrible shanda, but there's nothing I can do.
Question if they did convert or not.
Well, so we started to play this out, I believe, last time. If they converted, does she have any right to do any of this? Does she have any right to dissuade them and send them back to Moab?
Somebody said that maybe that was their test to see if it was a real gay or something.
Right, but does she have a right to do that?
Maybe.
Halachically, it doesn't seem that she would.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions. Shovna b'nosai lechna ki zakanti mios laish. Return, my daughters. Go, because I'm too old to be with a man. Ki amarti, even if I would say yeshli tikva, I have hope. Gam hayisi halayla laish, even if I was with a man tonight. V'gam yaladati banim, and even if I had some sons. Halahein tishaberna ad asher yigdelu. Halahein ta'agena levilti ayos laish. Albanosai ki marli ma'od mikhem ki atza bi yad Adonai. Should you wait for them to grow up? Should you, on your account, what do we have in translation there for ta'agena? Tie yourselves. Aguna, right. This is actually the shoresh for the term aguna. What's that? To chain, to anchor. The English here has debar yourselves for marriage. No, my daughters, my lot is far more bitter. Now I'm going to ask you to read this for me. Ki marli me'od mikem. Again, mikem. But,
right.
Ki atza biyad Hashem.
It's way more bitter for me than for you.
So that is one way to read it, that she is complaining, I have it even worse than you. So the last thing I need is to bring you along with me. Right? That would be adding to my bitterness. Any other way to read Marli Ma'od Mikem?
Very bitter because of you.
Right. Not only is it like I've already got it bad, there's no reason for you to come with me, you just make it worse. The reason I have it bad is you.
I'm very triggered by you right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So now how would you read that back into what she said before about God should bless you, you did chesed. Now all of a sudden she's saying, actually, the reason my life sucks is because of you.
Right. So all that's sarcastic.
So then you'd have to go back and read that first part as either it was sarcastic to begin with, like God bless you, goodbye.
Or
I'm not
she's
interested.
losing her cool at this point.
Right. Or
like,
right.
She's trying to
pass it off nicely.
She's
right.
trying to do.
We tried this the nice way.
Nice girl breakup, and then the true colors show. Like, right. Girls don't want to be hated when they break up with you, so they all try to do the whole "let's be friends."
Why would you go down this path of, assuming that they want more children and it's so implausible. They just want to go because they're widows themselves and they have nothing here, and they just want to give up.
Answer that question. What would you say?
What would I say?
What does she think in her mind that they want from this relationship?
Child, the husband.
Money.
They want something from her. They're not. She doesn't see this as altruistic. We're going back because we want to take care of our mother-in-law. We're going back because we want something from you. So the most obvious thing, or the thing that she's, I guess, calling out is, I don't have any more kids. You already took and killed all of them, right? What else do you want from me? You want to come back and take whatever land or food or whatever I've got left? No, thank you. You've already ruined my life enough.
And here we have a makor for the Jewish guilt trip.
The Jewish guilt trip. And their response is amazing. Vatisena kolan vativkena od. It sounds like they're going to continue on, right? That was their first response. They raise their voice, they cry out, Vatishak Orpah lachamosa, Virus davka ba. and Orpah kisses her mother-in-law, and Ruth clings to her mother-in-law. Does Orpah leave?
It's not clear that she leaves.
So the
The
pasuk
Midrash
seems.
says she leaves.
Well, the
and
next
does some
pasuk, the
crazy
next
stuff.
pasuk says that she leaves, but it's the pasuk doesn't go out of its way to say that she left, right? It just says that she kissed her mother-in-law. The next pasuk is Naomi's response to that is Vatomer hine shava yivim teich el amavi el Eloheha, right? Orpah tried to do a nice thing. She got pushed away. She and Ruth stayed the first time, and she gets pushed away in even more drastic terms the second time. And she says, "Okay, I hear you. I'm going to do what you asked me to do. I love you very much. Kiss goodbye." And Naomi in the next pasuk is very bitter. I mean, is very strong in her language. Vatomer hine shava yivim teich el amav el Eloheha. Shuvi acharei yivim teich. Your sister-in-law went back to her avodah zarah. Right? Why don't you? How did she know that?
It's not even sister; it's co-wife.
Co-wife. Right.
Right.
My co-wife.
Yivim teich.
Yevim Teich. She's Yevama, right?
Whatever the term.
Sister wife.
Sister wife.
Sister wife.
Where this term verus davka ba, does that recall anything?
Yeah. Bereshit, right? That Al Kain Yazovish at Avivet Imo.
Vidavak bi'ishto.
Right.
Right? So I want you to store that nugget because I think that's very important. We're going to see there's a lot of Rus acting like a male throughout this story. And that's probably the first one of those.
You don't have to read it so harshly because she can just just more like matter of fact. Like, look, she's going back. You don't need all these rules and regulations and this and everything. She's going back and go have fun and enjoy your life, have a happy.
Right. In other words,
Going back to
it's tantalizing to say she went back to freedom.
Yeah.
She went back to her nation. She went back to her God. She went back.
It's not like judging. It's just matter of fact.
Okay.
Well, considering the socio-political relationship that the Jews had with Moab, I don't know if it's like, oh, they're okay too.
Well,
but again, trying to get rid of it.
She's leaving.
Oh, you're going back to those nice German people. Oh, good for them.
But that's where they were from. That's where they lived.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I have a trouble. Even now, I
This
have
family
trouble.
went down to live there, so they obviously
for years, for decades.
Yeah, so they don't have too much of a problem there.
I don't know.
It's like I'm on my way back.
He went there to live there, so
a
he wouldn't get knocked on his
different
door
lifestyle than we have developed and created in this society. And my daughters-in-law are coming along. Folks, I'm just letting you know, like, I have nothing left to give you. Go. Okay, she goes, hey, she went back to the life that you've been living for the last however many years.
I mean, what? If that's the case, then why are they leaving at all? I mean, it's because they're stone broke and they're penniless. They're not going back to the life that they had before.
Well, that's what we said before. The reason Naomi leaves, the reason Naomi is going back is because she heard that God gave the Jewish people food. She's not going back out of the goodness of her heart. She's going back out of the emptiness of her stomach.
Uh-huh.
And her husband.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Let's go back. Like she wasn't.
Right. Like, but that's the point. Is that in Moab things suck right now.
What does that mean?
Why? Great.
Isn't
It's
that
always sunny in Philadelphia.
No.
It's always sunny in Moab.
The problem was that in Moab, if you don't have again saying that Ammon and Moab are an offshoot of their Sodom surroundings of where their origins, so they're not going to be taking care of anyone who needs them. There are no handouts. So, but Rus and Nun and Orpah have somewhere else to go. They can go back to their parents' house
And be cared for.
And Naomi doesn't have
be
that.
accepted.
All right, that's fair. Still, I don't know.
Steven, something's bothering you. Just lots of questions. No, zero answers. Brain juice. Vatomer. Okay, so up until this point, we have no inkling that Rus is trying to convert, right? We sort of have this in the ethos that we know Rus converts, but this starting in pasuk 16 is where we get something that Chazal can darshan from. Vatomer Rus al tifki'i bi. Don't. How do they translate tifki'i?
Don't touch me.
Do not urge me.
Don't push
Don't
me.
urge me. It should be like to be pogea is to hit or injure or to like attack, right?
Gifa, right.
TB.
Yeah. La'azveich, la'shuv me'acharech. Don't urge me. They have here to turn back and not follow you. Ki el, yeah. Ki el asher telechi elech. Because wherever you go, I go. Asher talini alin. And where you sleep, I sleep. Amech ami velohayich Elohai. Your people are my people. Your God is my God. And Chazal have lots of drushes on this as to what they were having a conversation about. Asher telechi elech. She tells her, well, there's Tchum Shabbos. And Russ's response is, wherever you go, I go, meaning I will only go up to the Tchum of Shabbos. Asher talini alin. There's tznias. Amech ami Elohai Elohai is her pledge to convert.
That was a most pressing thing to Chum Shabbos.
So I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah,
That's another one we're
there's
gonna
a
ask you
whole
to hold
big
on.
drasha, yeah.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean, I know they're
No, I've
sojourning
seen-
now. I'm saying I know it's
Yeah.
sort of
Right, it's
applicable,
right. Topical.
but still.
I've seen a whole bunch of drushes on like why those three things.
Okay.
You know,
What was
like
the third
because
thing? What was the third thing besides after the sneers?
Well, there's going to be more in the next pasuk. Ba'asher tamusi amush, she tells her about there's arba misos based in v'sham mekaver, and yeah,
Just reading Rashi over here.
yeah,
It's like
that's a good thing.
we can infer some of like how like the conversations they were having from the things that Rus is saying back to Naomi. It's like very interesting. It's like where you sleep, I'll sleep. Oh, like so there's a problem of yichud. I'm like seriously, like it doesn't take too long until something goes down.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, say more what you're getting at, because this is very interesting. This is something I think I also picked up on, but I haven't seen anyone else comment, which is these things are actually going to play out in the story later, right? Basher telech elech, Naomi tells Rus where to go and who to lie with, and to essentially violate a lot of what you just read over here, is what Rus is going to do in the third chapter. She's going to go violate the laws of Tznius by laying down with Boaz. Okay, Basher Tamusi Amus, how the death that you die, I will die, Vashamek Haver, and there I will be buried. Ko Yasa Adonai Li V'cho Yosif, so should God do to me and continue to do. This is a form of a pledge. Ki Hamavis Yafrid Beini U'Beinech, because death is the only thing that will separate between you and I. Okay, that sounds like a very strong commitment to joining the Jewish people.
Till death do us part.
Right.
Really.
So what is
Is it a commitment to joining the Jewish people or a commitment to Naomi?
Joining mother. That's a good point.
I mean, she says Elohayach Elohai, Amech Ami Elohayach Elohai.
Right, but you know
But
what?
she's-
Maybe Naomi was very charismatic person, and you know, like okay, yeah, all right, all right, Hashem, throw him in the mix, and you know, and I'll be along with that too. I don't know.
Well, but it isn't that I'm Jewish and God is God and all the. It is through Naomi that I'm coming to that.
Yes. There is very much a strong sense of I'm connected to you.
I'm
Right.
connected to you, which is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Yes, I certainly agree with that. I don't think they sat down and like read like the Ikare Emuna and Rus had a philosophical epiphany of, oh, you know what, like Avraham Avinu. Okay, now I recognize that this is the true God. I'm going with you.
It's the relationship between her and Naomi.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I think some of what she's responding to is also what Naomi said. Naomi said, your sister, your co-wife, whatever, went back. So Rus is saying, well, Asher Telechi Elech, I'm going with you. And she went back to her people. Your people are my people. She went back to her God. Your God is my God. Right? There's I think a parallel there. So Naomi sees Vatera ki misamet.
But again, with the subtext on it, that it's not It's the relationship between her and Naomi that's giving her the connection.
100%. 100%. And that's exactly what Naomi severs in this next pasuk. Vatera ki misametzas hi laleches ita vatechdal ledaber aleha. Naomi sees that she is determined to go with her, so she stops speaking to her.
They translate it, are to argue with her.
Well, vatechdal ledaber. She doesn't converse with her. I'll try to split the baby in half.
Silent treatment.
Yeah, she doesn't continue speaking with her. I don't know.
It seems to say it all.
Well, I mean, you'll get that even more in the next couple psukim. Let's see how much we can plow through this. V'telachna shtehem ad boana beis lachem. The two of them travel until they get to Beis Lechem. Vayhi kivona Beis Lechem. Vatehom kol ha'ir alehem. And the entire city is, how do we translate Vatehom?
Buzzed with excitement.
Buzz. Tumultuous. Mehuma. So they're all up in arms, kol ha'ir alehen, on them. Vatomarna hazos Naomi. And the women, right? This is a female speaking. Vatomarna hazos Naomi. Can this be Naomi? Vatomer alehem, and Naomi says to them, Al tikrani li Naomi. Don't call me Naomi, someone who has a pleasant experience. Karana li Mara. Call me the bitter one. Ki Mara, ki Hemar Shaddai li Ma'od. Because God, and this name of Hashem is uncommon, especially in later Nach, because God has embittered me very much. Before it was the girls made me bitter. Now it's
the specific name of God relating to material abundance.
Correct. The other place you find this, the shin, like Shakai is the one who embittered me, is by Eov, who also lost all of his children and all of his stuff, similar to Naomi. There's a lot of parallels. Maybe we can explore a little later, but I want to at least get through this. Ani milea halachti. I went out of Beis Lechem full. I had everything. V'reikam heshivani Adonai, and God has returned me empty. Lama tikrana li Naomi. Why should you call me Naomi? V'Adonai anabi. This is a play on words. Don't call me Naomi. Instead, switch the letters around. God has dealt harshly with me. V'Shaddai herali, and Shakai has brought misfortune, has done bad to me. So this is, first of all,
very
like
complaining,
very
really, like.
She's laying it all on God.
Right.
I didn't do anything wrong. I went, everything was good, and all of a sudden I'm coming back, and God has, taken my bird in my bush.
You could say she's being moda, like you could be done the kapschus, like God's doing this, I deserve this. God, God took it away.
I would agree with you if the next pasuk was, and it's because of my sins that God has done this.
I got you, but it's not.
Right.
I got you.
Now, she says she's coming back Rekam. What about Rus?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's worse than Raycom. Because now I'm got
empty-handed.
I'm coming back with a liability.
So that's even more of a shtach, if you will, to Rus's previous statement. Rus is like, I'm going wherever you go. I am davak to you. We are in it together. Your God is my God.
And she's like, I have nothing.
Naomi comes back, does not mention Rus at all, says, God has made my life miserable. I have nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you wanted to come along.
Yeah.
Vateshiv Naomi v'Rus haMoaviyah. So the pasuk says what Naomi doesn't say. Right? Naomi doesn't say anything about Rus, but the pasuk says, and Naomi and Rus, the Moaviyah, returned, Kalosa, Ima, Hashava Mistei Moav, in case you don't remember, Behema Ba'u Beis Lechem, and they returned to Beis Lechem B'tchil Sir Sa'orim, at the beginning of the barley harvest, and that is going to be important for the ongoing part of the story that's going to take place between the barley and the wheat harvest, and that's why we read this at Shavuot.
This just plays into the whole thing that I'm saying, is that She just doesn't want this constant reminder to the entire Beis Lechem that her and her family went to Moab to escape all the people knocking the doors. So they didn't want to give them tzedakah, and they stayed there. That's why she doesn't. She even meant she could be standing right there, but she's not there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's not there.
She
So
can't.
rather-
She
rather
can't.
think, if I went to Florida, you know what I'm saying? We're back now. You know, it doesn't have. You need to Moabitist woman or Moabit. You know.
Right.
Doesn't want it.
Right. The pasuk reinforces if Rus converted on the way, the pasuk goes out of its way to call her Rus HaMoaviyah. Right. That's who came back.
So then, the whole process is like, who are we kidding that there's a whole process of conversion? If the pasuk after all of that still calls her Hamovia.
Right. Well,
Well-
logistically, she can't convert on the way. She has to go to the mikvah. So even if she's checked all the boxes, she still has
Right. And there's a lot of waiting period for Garen. Like they have to they kind of have to put in their.
It presumes that what she was trying
due
to do
diligence.
in that speech was some form of conversion.
So they
Yes.
definitely didn't convert when they married her sons.
You tell me.
Debate.
Does it sound like she converted?
Well, she said they did them. You did them. What do you call it? The kindness.
Okay.
So you're saying the kindness that she was referring to was converting to marry the kids.
Could be, so they-
Again,
so
if
that-
you go back
that-
to- That previous question, if they actually converted, how was Naomi allowed to tell them, go back and not come along?
Maybe they're calling Movia because it's not settled yet whether a Movia
I guess it's
can
not
marry into the
interesting,
cloth.
No, it's very
Alright.
interesting.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
What did he
Yeah,
say?
that's probably
At this
what it is.
point, it may not be clear whether the Movia can marry
Yeah,
into
what
the cloth.
generation?
Maybe it's only like Boaz, maybe
Yeah.
Boaz looking into it. That's
There
one of
was
the
no
theories that they
Mascana
look
yet?
into it later, right? When before Boaz.
Well, it was debatable whether they could or they couldn't.
Right.
That
So
goes
that makes it
without
easier.
saying. And
Right.
Was it
But that may be the
debatable?
reason-
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the two sides of the debate?
One side says yes, you can. And
Who-
the
no,
other side says
No,
The
what I
level of Movia.
what I mean is
Good.
who's
Good.
on the side that says that you can.
her sons who married them.
Okay.
Okay.
Or
Wait,
maybe they
what
were
if they
just like
don't-
secularized,
It's a big.
Right.
Jews,
wasn't
or
like-
just like we don't
Their
care.
father was a shofet.
Right. No,
So-
I'm just
so
saying like
they wouldn't have done it. They obviously felt it was.
You went
I
and
mean-
wanted to marry a guy.
like
But
like
again, we married someone
like
who
if you've got a
can't marry.
reform dude arguing that no guys totally we can eat pig, and like you've got the Orthodox Jews going like no that's not a thing, like that's not two valid sides of a debate. That's like one side making things up and the Orthodox side.
Okay.
They're
Like
totally judgmental.
yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, yeah. Disseminate it on the internet. I don't care.
Thanks. Now I can't post it.
On the first one.
Take that, Spotify.
Look, I'll take the heat. You don't have to heat. You don't have to take it. Okay, I said it.
My name is Ned Flanders, and I say I will take the heat.
Oh man.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
You figured it all out?
Yeah, you can stop the recording.